The defensive lineup for the Sterling Rangers today at the end slots will be Billy Heron and Steve McClendon. The defensive tackles, Ricky Moody and John Brown. The linebacker core will include Gary Bender on the left side, Dwight Chandler in the middle, Mike Hillsley on the right side. The cornerbacks are Chris Kime and Scotty Mills. The safeties are Mike Pillow and Howard Sampson. That's the starting defensive lineup for the Sterling Rangers. And now for the starting lineup of the Permian Panthers, who will be receiving and, of course, getting the first offensive thrust of the football. Starting at center, Rodney Walker, a 165-pound senior. Starting guards this afternoon are number 64, Steve Weaver, a 205-pound senior, and Greg Davis, a 206-pound senior. At the tackle slots for Coach Gil Bartosh's Permian Panthers, right tackle is Scott Mann, number 51, 235-pound senior. Left tackle is 186-pound junior Rusty Pounds. The tight end will be Grady Wilkerson, one of the co-captains, 205-pound senior. The split end, Joe Bob Bazell, 145-pound senior, who has caught 19 passes this year, 336 yards offense and 1 touchdown. The starting backfield for the Permian Panthers, David Shipman at quarterback, 195-pound senior, and the leading rusher on the ball club as well, 224 carries for 1,310 yards. He has scored 21 touchdowns. The Panthers are set to come back on the field, and let's take a look now at the starting running backs. It'll be number 34, Ricky Sutherland, 174-pound senior, and Chuck Fields, who also weighs in at 174 and is a senior. As we told you, Coach Gil Bartosh and the Permian Panthers use the wing T and the slot I. The wing back is Roy Bobbitt, 155-pound senior. Roy has caught only 9 passes this year for 227 yards, but fantastic as it may sound, 8 of those 9 receptions have been for touchdowns. So the point-gathering system employed by the Permian Panthers has been such that we have seen David Shipman tally 21 times, Roy Bobbitt the next with 8 touchdown carries. The co-captains, as we told you, Chuck Fields, Steve Weaver, Grady Wilkerson for the Permian Panthers. The officials for this afternoon's game, referee is Andy Wagner. The head linesman is Tom Hamilton. The field judge, C.J. Seidenberger. The umpire is Ken Jackson, and the back judge is Mike Wetzel. Well, the Baytown Sterling Rangers are on the field. The Permian Panthers are getting set to make their entrance. Charlie, any last-minute thoughts prior to kickoff?
Not too many, Frank. I'm, as everyone here, just excited and want to see how it comes out. Permian favored by about 6 points. In my book, that's about right. And it's going to depend a great deal on whether Sterling can shut down the Panther running game without giving the pass, which is what the last 2 Permian opponents have had to do. And if this big Sterling forward wall defensively can keep 6 men up there and keep Permian from running down their throat, they'll be all right. But if you have to throw in 8, you give them the pass.
Kicking off this afternoon for the Sterling Rangers will be number 52, Jim Callum. Jim does the kickoffs and the points after. And now here are the Permian Partisans as they let the mojo know they're here. The weather is absolutely perfect for high school championship football on KMID TV, Channel 2, Midland, Odessa. And Charlie Bull and Frank Childs on hand for this afternoon state championship Class 4A game. The Permian Panthers and the Baytown Sterling Rangers all set to do battle this afternoon at Memorial Stadium in Austin. Weather is fantastic. Skies are clear. The whisper of wind is just barely here. And the temperature is somewhere in the low 70s, we would estimate. Set to go to kickoff time now as the Baytown Sterling Rangers. First out on the field, it'll be Jim Callum kicking off. Going back to receive will be Mike Ballou, Roy Bobbitt, Chuck Fields, and Gary Sutherland. For the Permian Panthers, Permian brings a record of 13 wins, no losses, undefeated this year. While Baytown Sterling lost their first game to Houston Westchester by a score of 14-6 and have not been headed since. Their season record 13-1. So whichever team wins Undoubtedly a worthy champion for the state of Texas high school football. It'll be Bobbitt and Ballou standing at about the goal line. Jim Callan will tee it up on the south 40. And we're set to go for state championship football. Callan kicks. Going to be fielded by Ballou at the 20. Back to about the 26. From there, Permian will set up offensive machinery. 1st and 10 to go. As Mike Ballou received the short kickoff on about the 18 or 19-yard line and brought it back out to the 26. Backfield for the Permian Panthers, Shipman, Fields, Sutherland, and Bobbitt. Bobbitt comes, split far to the right. Bazell on top. Shipman rolls to the right, gives it off. Up the middle it comes to number 35, Sutherland. Nice gain out to about the 31, pickup of 5 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and a long 5. Don Patterson checks in using the shuttle system, getting the plays into the Panther offensive huddle. And Patterson splits wide to the right side. Bazell on top of the screen. This time Shipman rolls to the right. He looks to pass, gonna run. Gets it across the 30. Up to just about the 43-yard line. 1st down, Permian. Ricky Moody made the stop for the Baytown Sterling Rangers. But using the rollout wisely that time, David Shipman brings it out to the 43 in Permian territory, 1st and 10 from that point. Patterson goes on the left side, Bazell to the right side this time, high in the backfield. Shipman gives it off to Sutherland, across the 45, out to about the 46. Ricky Moody once again in on the stop for the Rangers of Baytown Sterling. Bobbitt checks in at a wingback position once again. You'll see this system employed by Coach Gil Bartosh throughout the afternoon, as Roy Bobbitt, a 155-pound senior, and Don Patterson, 168-pound senior, alternate at wingback in order to shuttle the plays in from the bench. Shipman this time goes to the left, gives it off to Sutherland, picks up about 3 out near midfield. Forward progress is going to be stopped at about the 48-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd and just about 4 or 5 situation as Mike Hillsley came in to do the defensive chores that time. So the first 3rd down of the football game occurs for the Permian Panthers. Bazell and Bobbitt both on the same side, to the wide side of the field this time. Shipman rolls, shoots a pass downfield. It is in and out of the arms of Joe Bob Bazell, all by himself in the clear at the Ranger 40, as he had found a little seam, but it's incomplete. Kick time for the Panthers, and doing the kicking chores is Terry Penn, 160-pound senior, the punter for the Panthers. Terry will get the boot away from about his 35. Back to receive are Chris Kime and Mike Pillow. They'll be standing at about their own 15-yard line. Penn awaits the snap from Rodney Walker. Gets it, puts his toe into it. Nice kick, sailing down to the 14-yard line. Fielded by Kime. Back to the right side he comes, has the wall set up, but is going to be knocked down at about the 24-yard line. So for the first time, the Baytown Rangers get an opportunity to move on offense. And in that offensive backfield will be Martin Lamond at quarterback. Running backs are Darrell Newton, Dane Listy, and Sammy Singleton. Singleton, the big man, with 250 carries, 1,130 yards. He's the leading rusher for the Baytown Sterling Rangers. Normally employ a wishbone tee or a slot formation. This time the slot sets up. Lamond, the man under. Gives it off, first man through, that is Dane Listy. Listy cracks for about 5 out near the 30-yard line. Ray Nunez and Joe McCallum in on the tackle. So Listy picks up 5, sets up second and 5. No score in the ball game, 9:25 left to go in the first quarter from Austin's Memorial Stadium. Martin Lamont, the quarterback. Slot set to the left side this time. Spins, gives off to Singleton, big hole, first down. Joe Bob Bazell, along with number 50, Mike Herron, bring him down, but not before he garnered 7 yards on the thrust and brings up a first down for the Baytown Sterling Rangers. Permian moved for 1 and then was held defensively, had to punt, and now Baytown has evened up the first down statistics. Wishbone T this time in the backfield with Spivak set to the left side, goes up the middle, and Lamond out across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Greg Davis in on the stop for the Permian Panthers. 7 yards picked up on the play, sets up second down and about 3 needed, a long 3. Scotty Goodman splits wide to the left side this time. Lamont the man under, Wishbone T in the backfield. The give goes to Singleton, and the Panther defense stops him, but not before a couple of yards had been picked up. Greg Davis, Grady Wilkerson, and a host of other lads getting up. Sutherland was there, and Chuck Fields. So it'll bring up a third and a little over a yard. Let's call it 3rd and 1. The ball resting at the 46-yard line of Baytown Rangers. They'll set this one up in the slot formation with Spivak and Darrell Newton set out to the left side. The running backs are Singleton and Listy, and the give goes to Listy, first down. Second first down of the ball game for the Baytown Sterling Rangers, and they're into Permian territory at the Permian 49.5-yard line. So the give that time went to the big 185-pound junior, Dane Listy, who has done a beautiful job for Coach Al Dennis's Baytown Rangers this season, but he's played in the shadow primarily of Sammy Singleton. Wishbone in the backfield this time on 1st and 10. From the Panther 49.5, the give goes to Newton, and the defensive forward wall stops the thrust that time. Getting up is number 66, Joe McCallum, along with Mike Herron and Grady Wilkerson. So the gain is going to be good for about 2. 7 minutes playing time remaining. Second down and 8 needed. First quarter and no score. Goodman set to the right side this time. Check it off, that's Spivak. Long pass intended for Spivak. He falls down. The pass is too tall. It's incomplete. Joe Bob Bazell and Roy Bobbitt back on the defensive line that time. But John Civic was all covered up. He's a 150-pound junior, and now Scotty Goodman will replace him as they use the shuttle system at Baytown Sterling as well. Seems like in any league, whether it's Pop Warner or professional, we got the shuttle system in operation these days. Third down and once again passing down. Lamont rolls to the left side, puts it up. It is in and out of the arms of number 35, that is Sutherland. Ricky almost had it, couldn't hang on to it, falls away incomplete. Ricky Sutherland. And Sutherland, who normally wears number 34 this afternoon, is wearing number 35. So, punt time for Sterling. And it'll be number 85, Steve Hughes, to do the kicking chores. Joe Bob Bazell back deep to receive at about his own 10-yard line. Hughes awaiting the snap. Kick is going to not go too good, but Bazell fields it, finds a little running room out to about the 25. And Hughes did not hit that one well. So Permian will set it up 1st and 10 from their own 25 as they go back on offense. For the second time this afternoon, their first offensive thrust started from their own 26. So field position on the exchange of punts, they've lost a yard from their own 25. 1st and 10, no score. Bobbitt on the wing right. Bazell split left, and the give comes to Sutherland up the middle. Picks up a yard, maybe two. Not much more. There to hit him was number 55, Dwight Chandler.
Number 70.
And Steve McClendon also in on the stop. Fields checks out now as Gary Sutherland checks in with a play from Coach Gil Bartosh. Second down and about 8.5. Bobbitt comes wide to the right side, which is the wide side of the field. Shipman rolls to the right, looks, gonna run, gets it out across the 30. Beautiful effort. Second effort by David Shipman that time. Gets it across the 30 to about the 30.5. It'll bring up third, about 4.5 needed. Gary Bender doing the defensive stop that time for the Rangers. Fields back in, Gary Sutherland back out. So the Panthers could move it on the ground with the sweep, the thrust up the middle, or they might go to the air. Let's take a look. Bazell and Bobbitt both on the wide side to the left. Shipman rolls left, now stops, fires. It's in and out of, no, Bazell has it. Breaks into the clear at midfield to the 40. Has to cut back in against the grain and is knocked down at the 32. Beautiful reception by Joe Bob Bazell. Looked for a moment as though the defensive by Gary Bender might knock it out. Chris Kime was there. He was surrounded by three men, but beautiful reception. And Ricky Moody finally came up to make the tackle on Joe Bob Bazell. First and 10 Permian at the 33-yard line in Ranger territory. Deepest penetration by either football team so far in this young afternoon. Bobbitt set on a wing to the right side this time. Goes in motion. Left, that's check it off Patterson, Don Patterson. David Shipman rolls, gets a block. Gets inside the 20. Down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Permian. Well, the Permian Panthers have drawn first blood in the state championship 4A football game from Austin's Memorial Stadium. David Shipman, 33 yards around the left side. Beautiful blocking by that offensive line. Steve Weaver, Rusty Pounds, and Grady Wilkerson on the left side. And they cleared the way as Bobbitt now will try for the point after. And it'll be Mike Wilson doing the holding. Plays down, kick is up. No, hits a crossbar and comes back. It's no good. Our score, 6 for Permian Panthers. Baytown Sterling Rangers, nothing.
Yards,
33. Roy Bobbitt will tee it up at the North 40. Following the initial touchdown by the Permian Panthers, who now lead 6-0. The point after, of course, no good. Hit the crossbar. If it had gone on through, would have been good, but not so the case. Bobbitt will kick off. Gets his toe into the ball, sends a high end-over-end kick. That's going to be fielded by number 44, and that is Howard Sampson. Sampson back to the 10, to the 15, knocked down there. Howard Sampson knocked down at the 16-yard line, and Baytown sets it up offensively. First and 10 to go from their own 16-yard line. So the Panthers, having drawn first blood, leading 6-0 with 4:38 left to go in the first quarter. Well, they were down 14-0 at halftime last week against San Antonio Lee and came back to win it. The Panthers will try to put a stop to such going on. Up the middle it comes. Joe McCallum, Gary Sutherland, Mike Herron, Steve Weaver, Grady Wilkerson, you name it, they stopped him. As Dane Listy tried to go up the middle on that one, picked up a couple. Greg Davis checks out now. Greg, of course, having been bothered by injuries here of late. Lamond at quarterback. Wishbone T in the backfield. The give this time is to Singleton. He piles through for a couple of three. Across the 20, out to about the 23-yard line. Grady Wilkerson, Mike Herron were there for the Panther defense. It'll bring up third down and about 3.5. Third and about 3.5 for the Baytown Sterling Rangers. Panthers employ basically a 4-3-4 defense. This time the give once again is to Singleton, and it's going to be close. Around the right side. We'll have to wait and see, but I think he made it. Forward progress possibly carried him out to around the 28. He needed to gain the 27. Mike Herron and Ray Nunez on the stop, but 1st and 10 Baytown. New set of downs for the Baytown Sterling Rangers now. Run with that slot formation again. Slot set on the left side. Lamont, however, gives it off to Listy up the middle. Not much. Getting up off the pile for the Permian Panthers is number 50, Mike Herron. And once again, number 54, Ray Nunez. So the gain is going to be good for a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for the Rangers from their own 30-yard line. Spivak comes wide to the left side this time. Wishbone T otherwise in the backfield. Rolling left is Lamont, going to keep and run. And is going to be dropped for a loss. Number 85, or check it off, it's 35 it is. That is Ricky Sutherland. Ricky doing a beautiful job along with Grady Wilkerson, who was over there, and Joe McCallum cutting down the blockers. And Ricky came in to make the stop back at about the 28-yard line. Let's call it the 29 or so. It'll bring up a passing situation, possibly for Martin Lamont and company. Sets a slot to the wide side of the field to his right. And rolls out to the right side, looking. Going to run it. And is going to be dropped shy of 1st down yardage. And on the stop that time was number, well, let's check it off, number 85, Darrell Hunt. And Grady Wilkerson also in on the stop. It's going to be about a yard short and bring up a punting situation. Once again for the Baytown Rangers, who have asked for a measurement. So they'll bring the chains from across the way and check it out for them, let them know just how much they like. Actually, a little less than a yard. And Coach Al Dennis has the option then as to whether or not to go for it. But he's not. Going to bring in Steve Hughes to do the punting chores. Steve will be standing at about his own, well, he'll get it away from about his own 25. Back to receive will be Joe Bob Bazell. Good snap. Big rush. Hughes gets it away. Bazell fields it and down at the 35. Fair catch. So the Panthers set up offensively again. 3rd time they've had the football this afternoon. Scoring on their 2nd thrust to lead 6-0 with 1:19 left to go here in the 1st quarter. So the Panthers have it best field position they've started from, at least at their own 35. Bobbitt on the wing right, Bazell split left. In motion goes Sutherland. Shipman gets and gives on the wingback reverse to Bobbitt. No go. That one they'd seen in the films, and number 55, Dwight Chandler, was not fooled a bit. 2nd down and still about those same 10 yards needed. Ball at the Permian 35. A beautiful afternoon for football in Austin. Boy, oh boy, is it nice. Bobbitt once again on the wing right. And Bazell split left. Shipman fakes a play up the middle and runs instead. Beautiful blocking. Clears him to midfield and into Baytown territory at about the 46. He lowered his head and tried to run over Scotty Mills, but could not do so as Mills dropped him. David Shipman, quite a young man. That's their 4th first down of the ball game. Charlie Boland informs me. Thank you. And they have the football in Baytown territory once again. 1st and 10 at the Baytown 46. Chances are one more play will do it for the first quarter of action. We'll see. Mazzell split to the wide side, right. Don Patterson in at wing. On the left, comes in motion to the right. And the give goes up the middle instead to Fields. Fields almost breaks it. Gets down to about the 35 where it's going to be 1st and 10. In Baytown territory. The 5th first down of the football game racked up here in the first quarter. And now the clock starts, and there's the end of the first quarter of action. And our score at the end of the first quarter, the Permian Panthers 6, the Sterling Rangers nothing.
That's the end of the first quarter.
You want to scoot over here, or you want to stay there? Let me give you a little intro here, all right? They're gonna take a full minute. Back to play now for the second quarter of action. KMID TV sportsman, Mr. Charlie Boland. Charlie?
Thank you very much, Frank. Hi again, gang. Here is Shipman, bowed down. Shipman rolling right. 30, 29. Hit down by Chandler. So it's Shipman good for 6, and it's 2nd down and 4 yards to go. The Mojo ahead by a score of 6-0 early in the second period of play. It's Fields in and Gary Sutherland out. Shipman the up man. It's Bizzell split wide to the left. The pitch back to Ricky Sutherland to the 25 and 24. Again, it was Chandler who stopped the play, but not until the first down had been achieved, and that is the 6th first down of the afternoon for the Mojo. They lead by a score of 6-0 early in the second period. Check in 32. Ricky Sutherland, Chuck Fields leads. The Mojo driving again. 13 wins and no defeats for Permian. 13 wins and 1 defeat. There he goes. Down to the 14-yard line. It looked like Ricky Sutherland stopped by Gary Bender. Short of a first down by about a half yard. It is Shipman. The give to Ricky Sutherland to the 10 and the first down. It'll be first down and goal to go inside the 10. Stop applied by Howard Sampson and Scotty Mills. The Mojo have marched 55 yards from their own 35-yard line. It will be first and goal. The ball edging the 10-yard line, and it's Shipman bowing down. Bizzell split left. Ricky Sutherland to the 5. Student body right. Billy Heron stopped him. Darrell Hunt in the ball game in relief of Wilkerson. Wilkerson going back. Wait a minute. It's in relief of Bizzell. Second down, goal to go from the 5. Ricky Sutherland. He is close, but not quite. Mike Pillow